I'm Ali Kowitz. I'm the LASARD Project Director and Education Transition and Community Initiatives Director. I also have with me Tracy O'Donnell, who is the Director of the Paycheck Program and LASARD Facilitator, and she'll be jumping in a couple of times in this presentation. They say a person needs just 3 things to be truly happy in this world: someone to love, something to do, and somewhere to go. This should be the case for individuals with disabilities as well. In order for this to happen, it's essential that we teach them the skills they need to lead a successful life. Where are they going after high school? Will they have the skills necessary to hold a job? Who are they going to love as they get older? And will they have the skills needed to have a healthy relationship with another person? And most importantly, what will they do with their life? Will they have the skills to go to different places in the community, join a recreational sports team with friends, or volunteer at an organization that they're passionate about? One thing is for sure, if we want the individuals we work with to have a pretty good life, we need to make sure that they have the skills to make that happen. I always like to start with this graphic because it helps keep our work in perspective. We always work with our districts to help them help their students create a pretty good life. The Human Development Center, or HDC, has several programs that build the capacity of professionals, service providers, and families to ensure that people with disabilities are able to participate fully in all aspects of community life. In the education realm, we have programs from birth to post-secondary education. And we're from Louisiana, and we live in the communities where we work. We understand that the needs of rural districts look different than those of urban and suburban, and vice versa. Our team has a diverse expertise background and decades of combined experience. We have former special educators, BCBAs, an occupational therapist, an educational therapist, school psychologists, ed diagnosticians, school administrators, speech-language pathologists, and licensed professional counselor, early interventionists, and DHH and VI specialists, along with secondary transitions and employment specialists. We bring our collective knowledge together to collaborate, problem solve, and build capacity in Louisiana schools. And we always come to you. Our coaching is job embedded and in person. You don't have to worry about virtual coaching sessions with LASARD, Paycheck, or HDC. The LASARD team values collaboration. We use a collaborative model and approach and focus on teamwork. We utilize a growth mindset and always look for improvements. And we provide leadership in the field, and we translate research into practice. And we believe in inclusion and positive outcomes like equality, equity, well-being, and building capacity. Our model is based on research and practices from those key component areas. We believe that professional learning for educators has to involve more than just sitting in a professional development session. That's why all of our contracts include in-person job-embedded coaching. We utilize implementation science for implementing evidence-based practices, motivational interviewing to affect positive change in those that we are working with. We embed trauma-informed practices into our work, and we always rely on teaming and collaboration to build trusting relationships to elicit change. Our professional learning sessions and coaching cycles also align with LDOE's high-quality professional learning cycle that they are stressing for the upcoming school years. Our services shine in several of LDOE's educational priorities, like early childhood leading to kindergarten readiness, opportunities that ensure a meaningful high school experience, and having an effective teacher for every student. We also work with teachers and paras on scaffolding, accommodating, modifying, and using evidence-based instructional practices that support the unique learning needs of students with disabilities in reading and in math. Our goal is meaningful participation in age-appropriate activities and settings. We believe that all students can succeed in the gen ed classroom, and we build the capacity for inclusion through evidence-based practices at the school and district level. Our relationship with educators, related service providers, and families create meaningful participation and positive outcomes for all students. Since 2006, LASARD has been effectively partnering with Louisiana's educators, schools, and school systems, both traditional and charter. And this helps advance disability education in Louisiana. We provide job-embedded coaching for educators, paras, teacher teams, instructional learning teams, administrators, and families. Our professional learning sessions cover several different topics and can be customized to fit your needs. And we use community of practice sessions to remove silos and enhance collaborations between educators. We also offer intensive supports to school districts like systems and school level inclusive practice capacity building, intensive new teacher supports, action planning, and MTSS program building and management. I'm going to hand it off to Tracy to talk about our success beyond the classroom.
Hi. At the Paycheck program here at LSU, we strive for success beyond the classroom. So once students have completed their requirements for their diploma, we work with the local education agency, with 2 community colleges, and with employers all throughout the areas to help find students a competitive integrated employment in their area of interest, as well as an enriching and fantastic experience in post-secondary education in a community college setting. We provide job coaching, we provide monitoring of the transitions, we provide the partnerships, and our students have a really great time in our 3-semester program.
Tracy? And did you know that you also have access to the Louisiana Deafblind Project? HDC is home to the Deafblind Project, and these services are provided at no charge to school districts, families, educators, and service providers. So the Deafblind Project can provide strategies and supports to children and youth with hearing and vision loss, family supports, webinars, technical assistance and coaching, and professional learning and training. In the previous school year, we provided coaching to 230 schools and 790 educators. You can see our footprint is really large in the state. We also provided 159 training sessions that included more than 3,000 educators. So what do our partners say about us? The first one we'll hear from is Sean Crochet in St. Charles Parish Schools, talking about our district level capacity building.
So I've enjoyed and appreciate being on the LASARD district team for our district in St. Charles Parish Public Schools, because I'm getting to grow my capacity. Having our wonderful coaches, they know the resources, they know the research-based practices, and I think they're able to give us the tools that our teachers need for the benefit of our students. As a facilitator who doesn't have a background in students with autism and related disabilities, this has really helped me because they've done the research, they know their field, and they're able to point myself and my teachers in the right direction. So that's why I've been very appreciative to be a part of our LASARD district team.
And next, from a former partner, where we're talking about supporting teachers and paras directly.
So since you've been coming in, we've noticed that a huge change in our student. He has had zero behavior. We've had zero behavior issues out of him since we implemented the choice board. We give him choices. He chooses what he wants. He is eager to work. Like, we're so excited about it. Like, yes. It's been great. He pulls us over to his desk. He wants to work, and seriously, zero behavior issues. It has been wonderful.
Life-changing.
It has been life-changing. It's been great.
Life-changing.
That is fantastic.
Yes.
And with me, I have Miss Dee and Miss Jody at Delhi Charter School.
Life-changing. We love to hear it. So we do recognize that there are challenges. What makes a teacher change their behavior? How can we document these changes in schools, in districts, classrooms, and in students? And how can we collaborate more effectively with school administrators? So we do recognize some challenges, but we do have solutions. So what makes teachers change their behavior? Motivation. And how can we motivate teachers to change? We can build a positive relationship with them, so we build that rapport. But how do we do that? Is there an evidence-based way to do that? And yes, we use motivational interviewing as part of our coaching model. Some other challenges that we have seen but have solutions for. How can we document changes in district schools, classrooms, and students? Solutions, we can implement program evaluations. And is there a framework for program evaluation for projects that are similar to ours? And the answer is yes. We use implementation science from the National Implementation Research Network. And is there an evidence-based way to do that? And again, yes, we use various surveys, observations, assessments, and tools that we use in the classroom. So we have a lot of different options when we talk about your unique needs as a district. We can coach individual teachers. That can be around classroom issues or student concerns, or we can offer intensive new teacher supports. We can also coach teams of teachers through and use educator collaboration, inclusive practices, co-teaching, instructional leadership, and we can build the capacity of school or district team members through inclusive systems building, systems-wide MTSS, mentoring for coaches, and we can even use a train the trainer model. So in our coaching model, we use motivational interviewing. And this is the way that a coach interacts with the teacher, and it impacts that teacher's language and then impacts that teacher's behavior. Motivational interviewing is a collaborative conversation style for strengthening a person's own motivation and their commitment to change. What we know from the traditional coaching model, where a coach pushes change, teachers will resist and then change is unlikely. But when we use motivational interviewing and the coach elicits change talk, that change is more likely to occur. The LASARD coaching model has been developed and refined for the last several years and includes the elements on the graphic. Our coaching is always in person and can look a lot of different ways. We can teach evidence-based practices, model lessons, facilitate co-planning sessions to enhance inclusive methods, teach and model UDL principles and other instructional strategies, help with behavior supports, or in our post-secondary world, we can help with supports at the community college campus and the way instructors are giving work. We can coach teachers on how to develop jobs in the community and other things like that. Our coaching model also includes a classroom observation tool where we focus on specific indicators related to class-wide environment, like visual supports and behavior strategies, sensory supports, student-specific strategies, student behavior, and instructional supports. Some other data sources that we utilize to capture outcome data that can be disseminated to key players at your district level would be action planning, surveys, and needs assessments. With the teachers, we use our classroom observation checklist, coaching plans and surveys, and the student level, we use goal attainment scaling. Here's a quick screenshot of one page of our classroom observation checklist, but we have places for pre and post data, so we are measuring progress and growth in our coaching relationships, and it covers a wide variety of things that should be occurring in the classroom, utilizing those evidence-based practices. This is an example of a coaching plan where we set up action steps, note our resources, what the goal is, and we base it around the teacher's strengths, and in that motivational interviewing process, what changes they feel like they would like to make. And we can set up a goal attainment scale to go with that coaching plan. So we mark what the teacher's current practices are, and then each level to meet that goal. We can use goal attainment scaling for students too. This is a student example of a student verbally responding and increasing those verbal responses. And so we have benchmark goals, those short-term objectives, that annual goal we really want to see the student meet, and then what it looks like to exceed that goal. So when we looked at our data from past goal attainment scalings, we found that the average goal attainment score was a 3.4, which demonstrates that most students met their goal and many exceeded it. And if we break that down even further, 100% of students made progress towards their targeted goal, 41% met their goal, and 48% exceeded expectations of their educator team. Many goals focused on student engagement, specific academic goals, participation in less restrictive environments, and increasing positive behavior. I mentioned COPs, or Community of Practices, earlier, and these are a solution-focused learning. We meet with a consistent group of educators for 6 one-hour sessions to learn on the COP's topic and then jump into a brainstorming session to solve a problem together. COPs are great for bringing educators from across the district together to learn from each other. They will get an overview of a problem or a question, and the presenter will tell us what they're struggling with. They present background knowledge and frames a question for the group to consider. Then the group will ask clarifying questions about the information to gain a better understanding of the problem. Then the group talks about the problem presented, potential next steps, ideas, considerations, strategy ideas, and things like that. The facilitator will summarize what was discussed, and the presenter will finally pick a strategy to try, and the facilitator will follow up with them to see how it's going. Here are some COPs that we have. This is only 3 of several 20+ COP topics that we have. And you can see that they're broken down into different sessions. So for social communication, we have things like social communication characteristics, core and fringe vocabulary, visual supports, utilizing peer support, social goals, and visual supports for social interaction. Or post-secondary, we have independent skills, functional skills, vocational skills, self-care, self-determination, and self-advocacy. And we can customize these to meet the needs of your district. Here's a quick screen grab of our flyer for our professional learning topics. We have a ton of them, but we can also customize any topic to meet the needs of your district. Some of our basics include classroom environment, communication, executive functioning, functional skills, autism 101, and positive behavior supports. One thing that districts and teachers and our LASARD facilitators really love are make and take professional development sessions. These make and take sessions allow educators to create the visual supports that they're learning about in the training, practice using them, and have a tool that they can implement immediately upon returning to their classroom. So the majority of our packages are customized. We customize these based on the district's needs, goals, and we build a unique package that utilizes a combination of our services to meet the district's goals. We can create packages for early childhood services, K-12 services, new teacher supports, inclusive systems, MTSS, and secondary transition services. Packages may include a needs assessment, action planning meetings, principals meetings, mid-year check-ins, and end-of-year check-in meetings. The next few slides are a couple examples of sample packages. This is a single school package. It is just one pre-K to 2 school, and they had planning meetings, professional development for their staff, and 15 coaching sessions that they used to focus on their new special education teachers. Here's a small school district size. So it had a few elementary schools, 1 middle and 1 high school. And they also had an initial planning meeting, 2 trainings for all of their staff, but up the number of coaching sessions because they have more teachers. So they had 30 sessions, and again, focusing on those new educators. And then we had a mid to large size district that had several elementary schools, 6 middle schools, and 3 high schools. And this was a capacity building contract. So their district level team was working with our facilitators and going to classrooms with them. This involves a planning meeting, principals meetings, monthly meetings with that district team. It provides training for the paras, a teacher training, and then 85 coaching sessions. And again, this was a train the trainer model, so the district team members join on each visit. And then I'll hand it over to Tracy to talk about the paycheck transition package.
So for our transition package, here's an example of a sample package that would have secondary students who were ages 15 plus who need to prepare for life after high school, and the adults who support them, mainly your transition teachers in a high school and or different paraprofessionals, depending on the support needs of the students that are involved. So we want to build the capacity of all of the educators in the school, including transition teachers, your special education teachers, and your IBC teachers, to support the students with disabilities through their secondary transitions so that they can earn their Carnegie units and their certifications that can go with their diploma. If they're Elite Connect student, they can still earn certifications either at the high school prior to moving into post-secondary or in that post-secondary environment of Delgado Community College or Nunez Community College, because they have lots of certification classes. And so we like to create very well developed and individualized person-centered transition plans that are comprehensive and focus on everything from financial wellness through transition training, through transportation training, into community health, as well as involvement in the community college campus. We have students that play on the flag football team and belong to the different clubs on campus, as well as then them moving into their fully independent employment opportunities. We start with job coaching and with lots of support, and then we scaffold those back in a fading plan, and we will train your teachers how to do that. We like to build partnerships with the local businesses and employers so that we can community map what's available to your students after high school and to their families, so that we can provide competitive integrated employment that is going to be over the course of a lifetime as a career, as opposed to something that is a simple internship. We start with the work-based learning experience, which is a paid internship, hence the name paycheck. And then we move into our ultimate goal, which is for them to be in a career that they love, that builds on their strengths and their interests. So some of the services that would be included in this package would be team meetings for us to really sit down and see what your district, where they are in their capacity for this work and what needs they have in order to build the capacity to do this work fully independently of our help. We would do action planning and goal setting for the individual teachers as well as for those students. And that would start as simple as Transition Planning 101, so that those transition plans are completely individualized based on multiple assessments and based on student interests and their skills and support needs, so that you can get to work getting your students ready for independence and full transitions, comprehensive evaluations, and getting fully transitioned out of high school where they have a community college educational experience, they earn those credentials, and they live independently and have a job that they love. So we do monthly team meetings and even some stakeholder meetings with your district personnel, those employer groups, Families Helping Families or advocacy groups, the Human Services District, Louisiana Rehabilitation Services, or any other state vocational rehabilitation service that you're working with, as well as the families. So the trainings are very person-centered. Transition planning is how we can start. Then we move into training your teachers how to utilize pre-ETS curriculums, including one that we have pulled together here and we use at Paycheck. We also give them training on how to find careers, how to do that community mapping, and how to place students. We also will train them on how to not only deliver the pre-ETS instruction, but how to bill LRS for that pre-ETS instruction, so that when we're done, your district can completely fund the personnel that they need to support the students in this type of a program. Our coaching can be whatever your district needs, whether it's facilitated strategic planning for the district level, for the school team level, your administrators, scheduling, your different teachers, whether it's helping the incorporating UDL and accommodations and modifications in those IBC courses for your students, or whether it's how to get a robust transition program going in your school. We also coach on like I said, the pre-ets as well as the work-based learning experience and how to support students outside in the community when they're doing their work for a paycheck.
Awesome. Thank you, Tracy. It's a great explanation. All right, so what are your next steps as a school district? You can search for LASARD under the LSU Human Development Center on the Super App. So discuss these with your team. Contact me with any questions. You can also schedule a virtual meeting to discuss those specific needs of your district, and I can give you a quote. And some things for you to consider. You need to make sure that we have a signed contract in place before we can promise any professional development dates for the summer. Those summer dates are our most popular, so they go to the first people who have their contracts returned. Job embedded coaching is a requirement for all contracts, and we recommend a minimum of 3 to 5 coaching sessions per teacher. You can contact me here. Here's my email address. And I will leave this on the screen for a few minutes. Thank you for your time, and let us know if you have any questions. Thank you.